What's up, guys? My name is Drew Mulkins, and I'm getting paid for this in dildos. I'm a professional now. Yeah. So did you guys hear Arby's also put out turkey sandwiches? They're not just doing the hot roast beef, they also have like a hot turkey sandwich. Have you tried those? They're so good I quit cold turkey. True. Yeah. So I went to Kent State University. I did. Got a degree in English, which is awesome because now I deliver pizzas. I feel like I said to the world, "Hey world, I got a degree in writing and English and I can do awesome things." And the world was like, "Whatever, go contribute to the obesity of America." Fucking asshole. But they say that obesity is like a big problem in America. And I don't, well, it's true, but why don't we just solve it like we solve every problem in America? By acting like it's awesome and accepting it. It would just be some small changes, like labels on food, like warning could lead to an active, healthy lifestyle, or warning does not contain bacon. Then, like, they could make pizza delivery cars, emergency vehicles, you know, so people have to pull over, and, you know, maybe put Ronald McDonald on Mount Rushmore. And the rivers will run brown with gravy. Speaking of obesity, have you guys ever had a fat moment? A moment where you're like thinking about eating something that no human being should ever consume? Like, and then you just hate yourself? Like, for example, I was at a restaurant and I was reading the ingredients of this cheeseburger they had. And it was like bun, meat, cheese bacon. Cheese bacon? My mind just starts racing. Like, is that bacon made of cheese? Or cheese made out of bacon? Either way, I actually called the waitress over. I was like, what is cheese bacon? And she's like, oh, sorry about that. We forgot a comma in the menu. Cheese, bacon. And I was heartbroken. For about half a second. And then I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? No one should want to eat cheese bacon. So like I said, I deliver pizzas. I do. And it's really kind of just really surreal to deliver pizzas. Because little kids think you're the coolest person ever. Like, I don't even like, if I knock on someone's door and like a 3-year-old answers, like they do this, they're like, pizza guy! Mom! There's a, like literally I could be Spider-Man, like not a guy dressed, like I could be Spider-Man and the kid wouldn't be any more excited. Like that's as high as it goes. And at this point in writing this joke, I tried to think of like some funny like opposite example. Like that would be like if Gandhi murdered puppies. I don't know why murdering puppies is the first thing that comes to mind that kids don't like. But I'll see a therapist later, fuck that shit. Anyway, I thought about that and I'm like, actually just Gandhi. Like if, as much like respect for everything he did, if by some miracle he was resurrected and walked up to someone's house and their kid answered the door, they wouldn't care. They'd be like, Mom, some old guy's here. Can you go watch SpongeBob? But working with the public like that, maybe some of you guys do, maybe you work at a convenience store or you go door to door delivering pizzas or you're a Jehovah's Witness. I don't know. But if you're in a line of work like that, you see a lot of people And eventually some of them are gonna look like celebrities. Here's a tip. If you wanna tell them, and it starts with, hey, you look like the bad guy from, don't tell them that. It's not a compliment. Just keep your thought to yourself. I got in a lot of trouble. I delivered this pizza to this guy the other day. I was like, hey, you look like the bad guy from Nightmare on Elm Street. That guy was a burn victim, wasn't he? Here's your pizza. It's well done. But I'm actually moving up in the world because before I had that job, I worked at BP. And not everybody who works there has a degree, it turns out. It was just me. Because the other coworkers weren't all that bright. One of them actually came up to me one day with a Snickers bar. And he said, you see this? This here's what's wrong with this country. They wrote Snickers in Spanish on the back of this Snickers. And I said, dude, that says Nougadopolis. Nougadopolis isn't Spanish for Snickers. Snickers is. And while I was working there, I also found out people don't always appreciate, hey, you look like the good guy from. Because like this one guy came in and I was like, hey, you look like the good guy from Super Mario's Brothers, you know, Super Mario. And he got really offended. Apparently that's like a really offensive thing to say, you know, to a plumber. He got all mad, like he jumped down this big green pipe. He's like, I will never shop here again. I was like, whatever, dude, we don't take gold coins here. Speaking of that, like we know that Mario was a plumber, but was, like, there was no mention of that anywhere. Toad was never like, thank you for saving me, but the princess is in another castle. Although, as long as you're here, my toilet's been backing up. I know you're on this whole, could you just take a look? I don't know. This show is awesome. Thank you all for coming. What was I going to do next? Oh yeah, so I got a degree in English. I did. And I guess I did because I've always been like curious about the language. I listen to words and what they mean, and I have a favorite word. It's fuck. Probably the same as a lot of you out there. But I've actually met people who don't like the word fuck at all. They'll even, like, if you get them mad, they'll curse you out, but they won't say fuck. They'll replace it with shit every time. And I don't think that's a system we should adopt as a culture, with the one exception of go shit yourself. That is, I would be way more insulted if someone told me that. If they told me to go fuck myself, oh, whatever, I'll do that, fine. But if they tell me to go shit myself, there's no, I'm not cleaning that up, fuck that. You go shit yourself. Suffers is a word that I think if you completely ignore what it means, it actually sounds kind of cute. Like, you can name a kid that. Like, hey, Suffers! Who's it going? Kitty Suffers! It doesn't always work, though, because it could be like, Suppers! Suffers from feline AIDS. His fault, though. He had too much unprotected sex. He was never very safe, though. One time he got picked up. It was called kitty porn. Yeah. I like puns. Okay. So, do you guys think that deaf people ever get mad at the microwave directions on popcorn? Do you think they're ever like, wait 2 seconds between hearing... Fuck! How am I supposed to make that? You know, because they speak so clearly. So I like those Tempur-Pedic mattresses. I think they're pretty cool. But I don't know if I want to get one because they seem to be advertising towards alcoholics. I mean, If not spilling a glass of wine that you brought into bed with you is the major reason that you want to buy a mattress, maybe that's not the next big purchase you want to make. Or life decision. I fucked it up. That's cool. I'm alright. No one's here. Lighted already. Okay. So I'm not very good at talking to people. I'm not. People think I might be because I can talk on stage or whatever. But I am no good at small talk or conversations. Like, I've actually had people cuss me out because I can't, like, finish the conversation that they tried to start with me. Like, just the other day, this guy ran up to me, he's like, "Help! My wife just went into labor and I don't have a cell phone. Will you please help me?" I was like, Did you see that Browns game? Made a lot of field goals. Those are interesting. And the only thing that might be even harder than talking to a complete stranger is like talking to like an incomplete stranger. Because that always goes the same. It's always like, "Hey! Where'd you lose your hand?" No, that hug looks really good on you.